Chapter 10. Thief, thief! Edward looked at the young man. He didn't like him. He was dirty, and his eyes looked from side to side. Never straight at Edward. Who sent you? Miles Hendon. What's your name? My name is Hugo. What did Sir Miles say? He said, "Tell the boy to come to me." Tell. Edward was surprised and rather angry. I'm his king. He is wounded. He asks you to come and help him. Ah, said Edward, then I'll go. He is my true servant and I will help him. The young man led Edward out into the country. They went on and on and on. Where is Sir Miles? Said Edward. Not far from here, said the young man. He's there in that wood. They went into the wood. There was a hut in the wood hidden among the trees. Hugo opened the door and Edward went in. So you have come at last, said John Canty. You have come to help your dear father, who is hiding here because he killed a foolish old man. Where is Sir Miles? Said Edward. Take me to him. I don't know where your friend is, but you seem to love him so much that I told Hugo to use his name. Now you'll go out with Hugo and get money and food for your dear father. You know how to beg, and Hugo will see that you don't run away. Hugo led Edward out into the road on the other side of the wood. Stand here, he said. I'm your brother and I'm very ill. Soon someone will come along the road. I'll cry out in pain, and you'll go to him and say, "My poor brother, he's ill and we have not had any food. Help us." There is someone coming. Hugo threw himself down at the side of the road and began to cry out. I'm dying. Water, help. The man came to him. Poor boy, he said, let me help you. Kind sir, said Hugo, give my brother a penny to go and buy food. But you're real. I can't leave you here in such pain. Your brother will help me to take you to a house. He turned to Edward. Come, boy, help me to carry your brother to a house where he can be cared for. I'm the king, said Edward. That isn't my brother. He's a beggar and a thief, and he isn't ill. The man looked at Hugo. Huh, he said. Another of those beggars. You shall come with me to the judge, and he'll have you beaten or put to death. Hugo jumped up and ran away among the trees, and the man could not follow him. Edward went on along the road, very glad to be safely away from Hugo. Now, he said, I shall never see him or John Canty again. But just then Hugo jumped out on him from the trees at the side of the road. So you wanted to have me to put to death, said Hugo. Don't you know that beggars and thieves are put to death? I'll remember this and teach you a lesson. As Hugo walked along by Edward's side, he was thinking just what he could do to teach Edward a lesson. They came to a town. There were a great many people in the street, buying and selling. A woman passed by, carrying a basket. In the basket there was a fine, fat hen ready for cooking. Hugo took up a heavy stone from the ground, then he walked along behind the woman. He put the stone in her basket and took out the hen. Then he ran quickly and put the hen in Edward's arms. He shouted, "Thief! Thief!" and went off along the street. The woman turned. She saw Edward holding her fat hen. "There's a thief!" she cried. "Constable! Call the constable!" An angry crowd gathered round Edward. We won't wait for the constable, said a big man. There are too many thieves in this place. Let's put an end to him ourselves. Edward heard the sound of a horse. He looked up and saw Miles Hendon making his way through the crowd. "Sir Miles," he cried, "Sir Miles, help me!" Miles made his way through the crowd. "So I find you at last," he said. "Now, what's the matter?" "That woman says that I stole her hen." "He took it out of my basket, and there it is." "Ah," said Miles, "that's a nice fat bird. Just what I ordered you to get for me, but you should have asked the woman if she would sell it." Miles took the woman's arm and led her to one side. "My servant is rather foolish," he said. "He's a mad boy who thinks that lies the king. So you won't be unkind to him, will you?" "I'm sure he put the money in your basket," said Miles. "Let me look in it." Miles put his hand inside the basket. He had money ready in his hand. "Yes, here it is, 50 pence. You mustn't say that a boy is a thief until you are sure." "Here," said the woman. "Take the hen. I don't want the money." But Miles put the money in her basket. "Come, boy," he said, and took Edward up onto his horse and rode away. "How did you find me?" asked Edward. "I met a man in an inn. He told me about two beggars. One of them said, 'I'm the king, and that isn't my brother.' So I knew that one of them was you." "Where are we going now?" "To Hendon Hall," said Miles. "You may take me with you, but after that I must go quickly to be crowned in Westminster."